Welcome to Monday Mornings with Michelle, the new business podcast. Whether you're kicking off your day or kickstarting your business, Michelle is going to kick your ass into next week with the essential fours: strategy, systems, support, and state of mind. Now, welcome to center stage, Michelle Nedelec.
Hey there, peeps. This is Michelle Nedelec, and I'm super glad that you're here with us today. I am here with my most amazing guest, Lindsay Johnson, and you guys are going to be so stoked to be able to meet her. She is fabulous, talented, fun, funny, and obviously gorgeous. So without further ado, thank you, Lindsay, for joining us today. Super glad you could be here today.
Thanks, Michelle. This is very exciting. Happy to be here.
Nice. It is super exciting. I am so glad that you have gone on a little foray into the world of tech and decided to come up with a product of your own. And it is so, what I'm going to call leading edge, that I don't even really understand it. So why don't you give us the 5,000 foot view of who you are and how you got to be where you are?
Sure. So Snug is a platform that allows subscribers to book video chats with their favorite influencers. And this all kind of stemmed from the fact that, I have been a subscriber of many YouTube channels for a long time. I was a YouTube watcher. I had many people who I followed for years and years. And then eventually I started the YouTube journey on my own, and started building a channel, gaining an influence, and eventually I realized that these people who were in my network, I was always responding to comments, I was always, talking in the comment section, but there was still this lack of connection that I had with these people. And, for YouTubers, it's like you have opportunities with AdSense, you have opportunities with getting sponsorships, but AdSense is a little bit unpredictable. The sponsorships come and go, and it's like you have this whole entire network of people right at your fingertips, and at the end of the day, all they really want to do is actually just talk to you and communicate with you. And I kind of put that together with the fact that, the progression of the world and the place that we're going is we're just leaning to this more automated society, and which is great because I love automation and I love machines doing the work for me. But the thing is okay, you're losing out on a lot of connection with people as a result of that. And so I'm believing that the higher value item in the future is really the actual genuine connection versus, some of the other ways technology can be used. And so that is what we do at Snug. We allow influencers to have schedules with sessions, and they have a video chat that is put in the software so that when users come and book time with them, they are able to have the video chat within their browser. There's no software downloaded, and they can also receive donations on the platform. They can receive paid business inquiries on the platform, and we have a bunch of other features we'll be rolling out soon too. So.
Nice. That sounds awesome. So talk to me a little bit more about making the digital world a connection method, because I know a lot of people that have gone into the digital world kind of trying to escape from the one-on-one of having to talk to people, and now you're going, no, you really want to talk to them.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of places where we don't want to talk to people, and there's a lot of things that you want to go into, and you're like, all right, I just need to get, my internet thing to be working. I don't really need to talk to someone. I just need it to get it to work, and then it to be done with. I don't want to wait 20 minutes on a phone call to talk to a person. I'm good if we can just press a button and make it work, right? But the thing is when you're watching someone's YouTube, when you're watching someone's personal content, and that's what kind of makes YouTube different, is people are sharing their lives, they're sharing a part of their own selves. There's a sense of vulnerability that comes out that's displayed through the internet for the whole entire world to see. It becomes very personal. And when you're watching people, what's interesting is that, people who I used to watch for years, I felt as though I knew them. Like I felt like, there's this girl I used to watch, Rianne, and she would share really interesting things. And I felt like if I saw her in a room, I would just like have so many things to talk with her about. And for me, that was kind of interesting. So I'm like, and generally I'm okay not talking to people, but I feel like I knew her so well. And so the sake of this is just to connect people who, are oftentimes just lonely out there in the world. They don't have a lot of people they can talk to, but they feel as though they know that person. And on the same side, the influencer is looking for different ways that they can authentically monetize their time without, selling out to sponsorships that they maybe don't believe in, monetizing every single video. And so really at the end of the day, it's working for both parties towards a common goal.
Absolutely. And I know that at first blush I was looking at it going, I really don't want people phoning me all the time. It's like getting Facebook Messenger on my phone and getting phone calls at 3 a.m. going, no, this is not acceptable. This does not work for me. This is not what I want. So your platform is totally not like that at all. But what is your platform like? How do people engage and get connected? How do you monetize?
Sure. Yeah, so what happens is the influencer, they'll put in an application on our platform, and we manually approve every single person that comes onto the platform just to make sure that their values kind of align with the direction that we want to take the platform going forward. And so we review their content, we approve them, and then what they get to do is they set up their Snug page, which is basically a profile. They have a picture on there, they create the session types, which are basically topics of conversation they wish to have with people. I always tell the influencers, I'm like, make your session topics the same thing you talk about on your YouTube channel. Makes it easy. And so they create those, the time that they allot to those sessions, and also the price point. So they can charge whatever they want for their time. We have some people who are charging as low as $30 for their time for like an hour. We have like, I think our lowest is 20 for a half hour that someone's charging. And then we have up to $500 people are charging right now. And so we have a whole range just depending on, what your time is worth. And then what happens is they set a schedule, and that schedule has a link. So they put that link in the description of their videos. People click it, they can book the time right there. And then everyone gets emails of the video chat session time, and they can move forward with doing that.
Nice. And is a video session part of the platform, or do they go somewhere else?
It's a part of the platform. And that's something that I really wanted, because as an influencer myself, when I was wanting to do this, originally I was just trying to make it happen for myself. And I was like, I just want one platform that does everything. Like, I don't want to have someone have to download something, go to a different place. Like, I just want it all in one. And that's the only thing I wanted. And so I was searching everywhere, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find one product that I was looking for. And so then I was like, well, I'm just going to build it myself. I'm just going to build it myself for myself. And then I was like, well, you know what, that's actually kind of selfish, Lindsay. There's other YouTubers who would actually want to use this. And I knew some people in the creator space who were offering similar types of services, but they were doing the same thing. They were using like Acuity scheduling or Calendly or something, and then they were sending a link. And then, there's always the disconnect with someone downloading something the last minute before they come into a session. And I just didn't want to have that kind of chaos following me around. So, that's how we built out the platform, was for that specifically.
Nice. And is there a recording of the schedule or something if you wanted to be able to give it to somebody? Are they responsible for that? How does that work?
A recording of the schedule?
No, of the video session.
Oh,
conversation.
Yeah, so we're going to add in recording in the future. As of right now, we let the influencers kind of say it's you can't record the session unless the influencer gives you permission to. So right now the recording isn't housed in the platform, but that's something we're going to roll out in the future. So
nice. So if somebody were listening to this, how would they go, oh my God, I totally need this. I need you. I need what you do. How would they know that they need you?
So it would depend if they're from the influencer perspective or if they're from the user's perspective, the subscriber perspective. So what we tell the subscribers to do is, if they have a influencer who they really want to talk to, right? You can actually go on snug.me and they can search that influencer's name and see if they're on the platform or not, first of all. If they're not on the platform, it gives you a ticker amount of how many times a person has been requested to be on the platform. So maybe you go and you type in PewDiePie or something like that, and he has, 500,000 people who have requested to talk to him. Well, what you can do then is there's a little copy and paste. You can copy and paste that information onto that person's profile, send them an email with the same thing. And then when the influencer clicks on it, it brings them to the page that says, hey, you have 500,000 people who are asking to talk to you on Snug right now. Would you like to become an influencer with us? So that's one side of how subscribers can kind of use it to get in contact with their favorite influencers. And then on the other side, if you are an influencer, if you're on YouTube, what it simply is, it's just a way to monetize your time. If you're an influencer who's kind of has maybe a few thousand subscribers and you're trying to maybe get away from your day job or whatever it is, have something that's more consistent that you can kind of plan, like, I'm going to set up schedules these days. And it's amazing. So my channel itself I only have 11,000 subscribers, which is on the YouTube scale. It's on the lower side, right? But when I put up my link for Snug, within the first 2 weeks, I had I had already 10 sessions that were booked out with people, and I'm currently charging between $65 and $75 an hour, depending on the session. And so even with my small set of subscribers, it was like instantly I was booking out my calendar. And so it very much works from that perspective, from the influencer perspective. And now it's just kind of the education of saying to influencers, because this is a whole different way of monetizing their network and monetizing their time, and saying, hey, all you have to do is hop on a video, be yourself, and talk to people who are already your biggest fans and who already want to talk to you.
Nice. Are you finding that people like coaches and consultants, things like that, are using it, or is it mostly just people that are going, hey, I love you, you're awesome?
So a lot of the people who are kind of early adopters to this are people who are in coaching, who are their YouTube channel talks about teaching of something, whether it could be I always have my favorite like example of like Joe builds birdhouses, and you know, so he has like a craft, something that he teaches people how to do. And so we have like some people who are like that. They teach something specifically on their channel, and so they get to just talk about that thing with people on there. We have less of like the entertainers currently at this time, and more people who are a little bit more comfortable already being in this arena, but which is to be expected. And so, you know, as we continue to move forward, it's just going to be promoting that message of all you have to be is yourself. All you have to talk about are the things you currently talk about on your YouTube channel, whatever that is. And yeah.
Nice. Because I see this totally as a consultant. Seems extremely easy to me when we have I get confused, is it a podcast, is it a vlog, is it whatever, with the lingo in it. But when we have recordings on YouTube and people going, oh my God, this is awesome, I want to get in touch with you. And instead of having to go through and book appointments with me in consulting, to just be able to click on that Snug link and set up an appointment with me. And it's always a good use of my time, because clearly they're wanting to get a hold of me for some reason. It's like, well, you could go through this long convoluted route, or you're already here. So just click on the link and go. And I see that as the possibility of it as a kind of a VIP day as well, especially now while nobody's meeting with each other face to face. Instead of having the VIP sessions one-on-one and face to face, you can just do it over this, get the payment set up through Snug, and bam, you're done.
And you're good to go. And one other thing that was kind of like inspired us, like after launching the initial process, another feature that we're going to be launching is to be able to request a session. So if let's say the user wants to talk to the influencer about something specific, maybe it's not something that they currently offer, or maybe the influencer doesn't even want to offer sessions, they just want to have custom requests open. What that area is going to be is a place where, you know, myself as a user, I can type in the subject I want to talk about, some details, and then I can assign a price, and then the influencer can either accept it or deny it. And this was inspired by the fact that my uncle is actually a YouTuber. He has a very large channel actually. And he does a whole bunch of interesting things, some things regarding aliens and some other stuff too. He's a great guy.
Awesome.
But he had someone who really wanted to talk to him about something. This guy had sent him emails, had sent him, you know, like messages. My uncle wasn't interested, right? So finally one day he opens up his mail and he has a $5,000 check in there saying, I've tried to reach out to you on email. I've tried to send you messages. I just want to talk to you. Here's $5,000. Like, please call me back, you know? And my uncle was like, oh, okay. Like, and it was just like, you know, sometimes people like, and my uncle's a professor. He's a busy life, you know? And, but sometimes people are like, listen, like, this is what your time is worth to me. I want to put a price to it. Please let me talk to you. And so for maybe the influencers who aren't interested in taking regular sessions, or just want to add this as a supplement, we want to incorporate that too. So that'll be coming out in the next few months.
Very cool. And I know we mentioned YouTube because that's where the love child was born or conceived, but it also works for other platforms. So explain to us how that all pans out.
Yeah. So right now we launched with YouTube because we found that the demographic who are going to be most interested to be comfortable on video are going to be the people who have YouTube channels. Now, what we're going to do in the upcoming months is we're going to open that up to, you know, people on Instagram and some other social media platforms as well. But at the end of the day, if someone has, let's say they have a larger blog following or something like that, and they have a very like small YouTube channel, and anyone can apply right now with just having a channel and giving us some information about what they do. And then, you know, we can review that. Maybe they have a big Instagram following or something like that. We can review their application, and then, you know, we'll approve them if we think that they're a good fit with, you know, how the platform can be used.
Nice. So tell us the information. What does somebody need? They go, yep, I'm totally interested. How do I get this set up?
Yeah, so they just have to go to snug.me, and there's a button that says become an influencer. They can click on that. They just fill out their information. They can sign in with Google, whatever they prefer. And then once they get logged in, it'll bring you to like a little application session that says, you know, basically authenticate through your YouTube channel. They click on that, it gets processed. We go into our little back end and we click on the yes buttons to approve people. And then they get an email saying that they've been approved, and then they can set up their profile from there.
Nice. And how do you spell snug.com?
So it's snug, snugg.me, snug.me.
.me. So I'm giving you the wrong website, so don't go to
snug.com. I think brings you to phone cases, which are very nice as well, but you won't get the same experience.
Awesome. So one question I'd love to ask people is, at what point did you know that you were that special kind of crazy that you would become a successful entrepreneur?
I think it was at the point where so when I first started kind of going down this road, I started connecting the pieces of this thing I wanted to build. I didn't really know what it was. And then through research and some other, you know, input, I realized, oh, what I'm thinking of is actually a tech startup. And then to me, that seemed like a very big on-taking, and something that I wasn't really prepared to take on. I didn't think. But then I realized that there's a lot of other people out there who have done the same thing. You know, they've started from, you know, maybe a slightly different background, but, you know, you take it one step at a time, and you take little steps up the mountain as you continue to go up the mountain, and then you eventually get there. And it's just like the ones who are willing to go take the steps to continually move forward are the ones that get there. So once I put that thought into my own mind that like, I am doing this versus I want to do this, that's when my paradigm really changed to be like, no, this is happening now.
Nice. And did you have an IT software background?
Not specifically. I mean, I've come from the world of marketing and creative and design, but doing software development was something I had not specifically done before. And so luckily I found a developer who was also a friend who was willing to work with me, who's also a YouTuber, which was great. And, you know, we started building out the project, and we were able to, from start to actually launching the MVP, it took us 10 months, which I'm really proud of because it was a ton of work. And yeah, we continue to move from that point.
Nice. That is awesome. Well, I know I'm super proud of you. As soon as you mentioned it, I'm like, I am totally in. I don't care what it is. I don't get it, but I'm totally in.
Excellent.
I'm sure we have like 7 followers on YouTube right now.
All good.
Okay. So, you know, everybody, if you're listening to this, go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. You know, you won't be inundated. That's hilarious. So is there any other questions that I should be asking you, or information that you'd like to be giving our peeps?
I mean, I think that's pretty much it. If people want more information specifically about being influencers, they can go to snug.me/influencers. We have a little bit more info on there. We have a calculator that says, you know, if you're charging this much for your time, you're taking this many sessions, this is how much you're going to make per week. That's a fun little thing to play around with. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much it.
And if they have questions on how you become a YouTube influencer, is that in your future anywhere to give them advice and things?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We have a YouTube channel as well for Snug, and we'll be putting out more information kind of on that sort of thing, where they can learn more about starting a YouTube channel. And really, it's just so great because you're starting a community, and no matter what you end up going down business-wise from that point, you have people who are already your biggest fans. And so it's like you're creating your network, and those people, you know, you could be selling them shoes down the line, you could be selling them passes to Disneyland. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But if they're your biggest fans, they're your biggest fans, and you're the most important thing to them. So
nice. That is awesome. But you do bring up one question, because I'm thinking that some of my peeps are going like, I'm so not on YouTube. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. They followed us this long into the conversation, which I don't
Yeah.
quite understand why. But hey, if you're here, you're so confused. Like if somebody was like, what are some of the weirdest channels that you've seen on YouTube? Not like, hey, this is my pet iguana, but like things that you don't think you would see on YouTube, like businesses that are actually functioning or influencers that are like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I've seen so many interesting channels, like some things that I just were never expecting to come. I mean, the thing is, it's like you tend to find the things that you're searching for the most part on YouTube, because YouTube like wants to know exactly what you want, so it gives you exactly what you want. But occasionally, like you'll come across interesting things. And one interesting thing I stumbled on probably at 3 o'clock in the morning at some point was this guy who did animated stop motion replicas of ships sinking that were historical. And so he makes these like a dramatic stop motion with like these replicas of these ships and like how they sunk with this really dramatic music. And I was watching this thing, it was like 15 minutes long. I was like, this is fascinating.
That is awesome.
And, you know, I always say too, for people who are starting channels, the thing you want to really focus on too is like, you know, it's good to show a product or whatever, but also to
You got somebody popping something in the background.
yeah.
Sorry, it's just hard to hear you.
Dog child.
Love child.
It's great to, you know, do things that are just visual that aren't incorporating you. But the thing is if you can incorporate yourself, then the people are associating the channel to a face, and I feel like those channels tend to do better off the bat because they are saying, oh, you know, especially if you're connecting with the people, you're answering comments, they're connecting your face to the experience. And so then it's even easier to then down the line, if you want to do a video session or something like that, people are already used to seeing you face to face, and they're just like, wow, now I actually get to talk to that person who I just look at all the time on their videos.
Nice. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lindsay, for your time. I appreciate it immensely. And guys, if you're at all interested, go and check it out at snugg.me and go and talk to Lindsay. Go set up a time with her and ask her how you can make the most of it. I'm sure she'd be happy to answer all of your questions because that's why she has it.
Absolutely. And you can always send us an email too at hello@snug.me, and we would be happy to answer you there too.
Nice. And for those of you who can see the video, who's your buddy?
This is Indy, and
Hi.
he loves water bottles and squeaky things, and he's a very good boy.
And he's a Pomeranian?
He's a Papillon.
Oh, Papillon, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, he's very French.
Super cute. Awesome. Well, this is Michelle Nedlock. Thank you for being here with us. If you know anyone who would make a great guest for the show, or if you have any questions on topics that you want me to discuss, reach out at michelle@awarenessstrategies.com or connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. I'd love to hear from you. Or YouTube. Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to our show. I am all about being a resource center for entrepreneurs to give them the information and the support they need to make it in business. As such, I have Taking Your Business Digital Q&A every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Mountain. To register for that, go to awarenessstrategies.com/digital. That's DIGITAL. I look forward to meeting you and actually finding out how you are. So see you on the flip side.